Welcome to today's 3-minute Halacha. The Gemara in Brachot and Daf Lamed Aleph Amud Aleph teaches us that the prayers of Chana are the paradigm for all of our prayers. Chana appeared in the Mishkan, prayed with all of her heart for a child, while Eli, the Kohen Gadol, watched. And there, in the first chapter of Sefer Shmuel Aleph, we are told, V'chana medaberet al liba, Chana was praying in her heart, Rak sfateh naot. Only her lips were moving, V'kol lo yishamea, and yet you could not hear her voice. From this, the Gemara learns that a person must pronounce the words, move the lips while they are praying, and yet at the very same time should be praying in a way where you cannot be heard. All of this is talking specifically about the Shemoneh Esrei, as we'll hear in just a moment, when we stand before the king. But the Gemara learns even more that a person shouldn't be saying the tefillot loudly, because if they do so, it's as if they're miktanei emunah, if they're people of little faith, as if they're saying that God can't hear their whispers of prayer. And secondly, if a person prays loudly, the Gemara says that they resemble the Nevi'ei Sheker, the false prophets, who Eliyahu Hanavi mocked on Har Carmel, on Mount Carmel, when he said to them, Kiru b'kol gadol, cry out with a loud voice to your God. We don't want to do that. And yet at the very same time, we say that you can't just think or meditate the tefillot, because if you do so, you're not yotze, you don't fulfill your obligations. So what is v'kola lo yishamea? What does it mean to say the tefillot quietly, not too loud, not loudly, and yet still to say them? The Tosefta wants to say that it means you don't say them out loud at all. You move your lips without any sound coming forth. But the Rambam disagrees. The Rambam says that you need to be able to say your tefillot loud enough that you can hear it, and yet no one else is disturbed by the sounds of your Shemoneh Esrei. The Aruch HaShulchan adds that we're talking about people who are 4 amot, in a distance, shouldn't be able to hear. 6 feet away from you should not be able to hear your tefillot. That is the halacha in the Shulchan Aruch. That's the way we're supposed to behave. In fact, the Chazon Ish even noted that those people who sometimes when they're davening Shemoneh Esrei and Rosh Chodesh yell out the words Ya'aleh v'yavo to try to remember others are not acting with derech eretz before God. However, this idea of praying quietly only applies to the Shemoneh Esrei when we're standing before the king, before the Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu, before God. However, as the Ramban points out in his Perush in the Chumash to Parashat Bo, that when it comes to the question of all of the other tefillot, we know that ultimately the other tefillot we're allowed to say out loud. In fact, it is something that is considered meritorious at times, to say those tefillot loudly, or when it comes to Pirkei Tilim, to the chapters of Tilim that make up so much of our Psukei de Zimra, to make sure that we say that with some element of a melody, because Tilim without melody are not the Tilim. Shemoneh Esrei should be silent. Other tefillot can be said out loud.